I cook out of this cookbook all the time. This is 101 Asian Dishes You Need to Cook Before You Die by Tila. I love him so much. And his cookbooks are really easy to navigate. They are super simple. And if you want to start cooking more Asian dishes at home instead of getting takeout all the time, you'll realize how easy it actually is. It doesn't need to be super complicated. So, here in this particular cookbook, we have Rock the Wok, Grilling, Roasting, and More Meat, my favorite noodle dishes, soups, curries, and larger plates, sushi, salads, and other veggies, dumplings, finger foods and small plates, sweets, and stock staples and building blocks, and then lastly, sauces and dippers. So I'll show you a few of the recipes I've cooked. So I've definitely cooked the Mongolian beef recipe like a million times. My husband loves Mongolian beef, and one of our favorite Chinese places is super far away, and they make the perfect Mongolian beef, but we don't want to drive that far. So I've learned that it's actually quite easy. So his instructions are very, very simple, straightforward. The list of ingredients are divided up into like the meat or the marinades. We've got the actual, if there's a dipper, if there's a sauce, if there's what you actually stir fry with. There's all kinds of stuff, and it's very easy. Serving size on the very top. So here we also have, I've made his orange flavored chicken. Very, very good. I've even substituted chicken with like beef or tried pork, and it still works just as great. Here we have the Szechuan beef, which I've also made several times. This is super tasty. I love it. I love just how easy it is to throw all of these dishes together on a weekday. It really is. It takes no time. Salmon teriyaki, classic. I've made this several times, but I've also substituted the sauce and made like chicken or whatever you want. I love this recipe. This is a little more involved. So it's the Korean short rib tacos with gochujang sauce. The short rib is bomb, and you can use it for another dish as well, which I've used before, and I usually make that dish once a year because it's super rich and really good, and it takes a really long time, but it's so worth it. It's a very memorable dish. I have to have it at least once a year. So the last pad thai recipe you'll ever need. So I've been struggling with pad thai, and I'm very close with this. I think it's my heat is the problem, but this recipe, the flavor is spot on. I know that every time I've made pad thai from anything online or whatever, it's always never been the same. This cookbook's awesome. It's perfect, and you can double the sauce if you wanted to. There's so many things you could do. This is the recipe I have once a year with the same short rib recipe. It's cow soy northern curry braised beef noodles. It is so good. This is amazing. So delicious. I love in his cookbooks he has a pro tip in the bottom if there's any additional things you might want to add to the particular dish, or if there's ingredients you can't really find, you can totally omit it, or you can find substitutes. You can find a lot of these ingredients on Amazon or at your local grocery store. I've never had a problem personally, but I know everywhere is different. Classic lo mein noodles. Here, let's move on. I've made his coconut chicken soup, the Tom Kha, and this is perfect. Just, yeah, so good. And it's easy. I don't need to go to a Thai restaurant to make it. I can make it better at home now. Here we have red miso soup with tofu. This is another one that's just like easy to whip together. Have it with some rice, maybe some salmon teriyaki, and have some miso soup with it. Here I haven't tried his wonton soup yet. That's on my list. Here we have spicy tuna roll. Yum. I love it. And his Thai beef salad is one of my favorites. Super good. Very refreshing for summertime. And then here we have his Vietnamese crispy imperial rolls. Ugh, my mouth is watering. Seriously, this is my favorite Asian cookbook of all time. I think it makes Asian cooking approachable. I know that it can be overwhelming because usually the ingredient list there's so much because there's so many vegetables and so many seasonings. But it's really easy to just throw together. Once you have the ingredients on hand, you can just go ahead and whip it together. And it lasts a long time. and they're filling. It's super good, super easy. You'll be surprised, but it'll be amazing. So check this out. This is 101 Asian dishes you need to cook before you die. This is by Tila. He's amazing. I love him.